Okay,
Hello.
wonderful. So many folks joining us. Great, well, let's go ahead and get started. I know we have 45 minutes and a lot of territory to cover.
We
My,
do.
my name is Mary, and I am with Fairygodboss. For those of you not familiar, Fairygodboss is the largest career community for women, and we offer a variety of free career resources to the women in our community. Things like this webinar we're doing with Hannah, anonymous job reviews, the ability to apply for jobs, and just a ton of great other content and resources. So if you haven't checked us out, we hope that you will. We are so glad to be joined with personal branding and styling expert Hannah Moon today to talk about building your brand, how we can make our outer image match our inner confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Hannah to say a few words, and then we'll dive into Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction, for having me. I'm really excited to be partnering up with you guys at Fairygodboss. I love what you guys do. I thought it was so cool when I first found the platform because, as you know, women, we don't really have sometimes a safe space to be able to ask questions and to really figure out like the direction in our career. So thank you again. But so what I do as a personal stylist, like a branding expert, is really helping women figure out kind of the trajectory of like their career, whether they work for a corporate company or they are female entrepreneurs. And we look at like a timeline. We try to see like who are they sitting in front of, whether it's executives at a corporate office or whether it's stay-at-home moms, like who's their audience. We basically figure out how to tailor your personal style to represent who you are, but then also how to connect and relate to who your audience is. So we'll think of like multiple different, like I have a client who she's like, does like personal development, and so she works with corporate clients, but then she also works with like smaller female entrepreneur clients, and so we have to tailor that look for both different audiences. However, we still wanted to be within the confines of like her own brand and make her feel super confident, make her feel like she's her best self. And oftentimes whenever you're taking care of yourself more so on the exterior, it actually helps build the confidence on the inside even more. So it's very much like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. So yeah, so that's really what I help women do.
Absolutely, I love it, and you're so right. Whether you have a power outfit, just the way you're presenting yourself can really power how you feel about yourself on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Before I ask my first question, a few housekeeping things I forgot to mention. We will be recording this webinar and sharing it with everyone who registered afterward via email, and you can also check it out on the Fairygodboss website under our events page anytime after the fact. And then if you do have a question, feel free to use the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen, and we'll spend some time at the end of our conversation getting through as many as we can. And so to kick it off, Hannah, can you talk to us a little bit about what exactly does it mean to showcase who you are through your clothing?
That's a good question. So sometimes when we hear the words personal branding, it sounds kind of gross. Like it sounds a little bit, I think as women, like we have a hard time self-promotion. And so it seems a little bit like just silly to think like, oh, I got to create myself like a personal brand, because it's like, oh, who am I? I'm just like working for this corporate company, or I just sit behind a desk all day. But you still interact with so many different people on a small level, large level, personal scale. And so what it really means to create like a personal brand and like developing that to like match your inside is to really think about like what you're made of. So before you could ever really even figure out what your personal style is, it's a lot of like interpersonal development to figure out. Like if you could think of what you would want in 2020, like how can we get you there, also utilizing your wardrobe, because essentially you are like your walking business card. And how you dress is a lot of like how people decide how to interact with you. And so I tend to go through with my clients in the first couple weeks through like a program I do is figuring out those steps and like figuring out like if you had 5 words that would describe who you are as a person, We go through, like I said before, and figure out goals over the next year. And like maybe it's speaking. Maybe someone wants to be a public speaker. Well, your wardrobe, whenever you're speaking, is going to have to attract people and not distract people. So that's a really big part of us figuring out, like, we want whatever you would wear. Say something like this, like, I was trying to think, I was like, what do I want to wear for my webinar? I was like, do I want to like look more professional, wear like a cool button down? And then I realized, I was like, this is my favorite hat that I wear on a regular basis. I love chunky gold jewelry. Like, I love a comfy tee, and this one says like girl gang on it. So I realized, it was like, I should wear exactly what I would wear whenever I would normally create content or meet with a client, because this is exactly what you're going to get. And that would be kind of weird if I looked super hardcore professional and like blazer and a button down, and then all of a sudden someone goes to hire me and they're like, this is not at all the person that I thought you were. So it really is about like showcasing like the authentic version of yourself on the inside, just utilizing just pieces of wardrobe. Yeah.
Totally. I love that. And I think we, especially women, can agonize when you have something big coming up, or like a webinar, like, you know, to your point, I thought critically, I have to do this webinar today. What can I wear?
Totally.
So I think it's something we all think about, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I love what you talked about bringing your authentic self and setting goals, and then thinking about how your wardrobe can align with that. So let's take a step back and really think, so if you are trying to build your brand through your wardrobe, where do you suggest people start?
Pinterest is my like end all be all. So I make mood boards with all of my clients on Pinterest, but I also utilize it I'm a commercial stylist as well. And so I'll use it for that. I use it for like my own personal development. But what I would recommend, like a first step, like if today you were like, I want to figure out what my personal brand is, create a whole new board. Do not build off one that you made whenever Pinterest first started. So go ahead and make like 2019 to 2020 style board. And I want you to pin things that you can articulate what about the photo you actually like. So it's not just like going through the feed that Pinterest gives you, because they actually have one of the best algorithms ever. And so we complain a lot about, you know, Instagram's algorithm, they don't show us what we want to see. Well, Pinterest is really great because you can type in multiple words, you can drill down. You can, when say you find a photo of something, you're like, I love everything about this. I love this style, I love the fit, I love the colors. When you click it, you can actually go down and it'll show you more photos just like that one. So it actually helps you to tailor down like what your brand would be. You can also pin from Instagram to Pinterest. It's super easy. And so if you ever find something on there, you can put it on your board as well. But I would say start creating a board and be super intentional with what you put on there, because it's oftentimes like, I've seen some gals do like a really preppy photo, and then the next one's like edgy with like leather leggings and this like super puffy blouse, and you're like, whoa, like let's talk about what about each of these you liked. And it turned out it wasn't even the outfit, it was more like maybe like the hairstyle in one and like the pants in another. And so you need to be able to write in the comment like what about the photo you liked, because that will help you to identify like what about that style resonates with you.
Totally. I love that. That's such good advice. And Pinterest is such a useful resource. Really for anything you're planning or trying to do. It's, you know, your modern vision board, right?
Yeah. I
love it. So I think this is a great question. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts. So what if you work somewhere that doesn't match your personal style? Like, say I worked at a law firm that's really business formal, but I'm like more casual and creative.
Yeah. That's a question I get often. So one thing I would suggest is like if you are in an atmosphere that does require a certain dress code, you can still figure out a way to make it feel yourself. So say you have to work at a law firm, and so technically you might have to wear suiting. There are now so many amazing options for women for suiting that is like empowering and awesome and colorful and texture. So I love Sue Studio. It's SUIS and then Studio. They have amazing suits, and they're really great because they've like now suiting starting to get into a place where they realize like, oh, suits should not be like $2,000. That's hilarious. So you can get like an amazing custom altered to your bodysuit for like $500, which if you were wearing that on a regular basis, it's well worth it. But there's other ways that you can wear suits and not feel stuffy. Like you could probably wear like a really nice sneaker with it and like an Everlane, very nice, high quality t-shirt underneath, like white, black, gray. There's ways to style to still have a little bit more of a laid back feel. Fabrics is like a big deal. So if you're having to wear a suit and you go get like an H&M suit and an H&M button down, you're not going to be comfy. You're going to feel super stuffy and you're going to be like, I hate this. And it's like, yeah, you're going to have to level up and really put like money into those pieces that are going to serve you on a daily basis. You won't make the money back by wearing it all the time.
Yeah. So conversely, what if you work in some place that's super laid back, like a tech startup, but you love to dress up and you love wearing that power suit? What would you recommend?
Do it. Oh my gosh. Yes. So this is another one that this is probably even more because like more offices are starting to get more and more lax. It just helps with your own productivity to dress up. And if you are the most dressed up person in the room, so be it. And it doesn't have to be that you want attention. If you do, that's totally fine. But if someone's going to be getting a promotion and you're the one that shows up every day dressed to impress, which is innately going to make you actually work harder, work smarter, work better, feel so much more empowered, you're going to be the one getting that promotion. Not Sally, who is like coming in late, not taking care of herself, not putting together. I mean, like even just it helps with also just like taking care of your hair and your skin and just a little bit of makeup. I wear like no makeup. For me, it's very much like under eye concealer and mascara, and that's about it. But I want to make sure I show up in every other area. Like I have pink hair, so I already have like an accessory all the time, but I still like, I'm much more creative with my wardrobe. I definitely feel like if you're in a very lax environment, do not be afraid to be the person that steps it up a notch because that is only going to excel your career.
Yeah, that's great advice. I'd love to ask the audience like a quick poll question too. I'd love to see in the comments. Like, I'm just curious if people have an opinion on better to be overdressed or underdressed, and feel free to chime in and we'll go back to it. So I think to your point, accessories are a great way to express your style, and that, you don't have to, it's small things like you said, that can really make something pop and make you look a little bit more put together than otherwise. So let's talk about interviews for a second. So you obviously want to show your personality in an interview, but how would you recommend doing that and wearing something that, is appropriate for the interview, but still matches your personal style?
So it kind of goes along well with if you're going to be speaking in a room, whether you're on a panel, you have a workshop, whatever it may be, you want to stand out but not distract. So I would say attract, not distract. So I would definitely recommend, like, if it's an environment where people are wearing suits, wear a suit. You don't necessarily have to wear a black one. You could wear maybe a textured brown one with like a cream. It's called a pussy bow blouse, but it's the one that has the little bow right here that you tie and it hangs. There's a way to look like a total boss babe and people would be like, that woman I want to work with, versus feeling stuffy and uncomfortable. Because if you're uncomfortable with how you're appearing, you will act uncomfortable as well. So if you're like, this is not me, I hate this, then it's going to come out in your interview and you need to feel fully confident. So I would say, like, say you're going to mid-tier, like, let's say most of us are not going anywhere where everybody's wearing suits. So if you just want to look professional, experienced, I do tend to say stay away from just black and white because that's just so vanilla. Jewel tones are amazing. So if you want to wear like an emerald green blouse or like a fuchsia kind of color or blue, those are super inviting. They will like brighten your face, and you can tend to find some really great professional blouses in that realm. I personally, like, I love boho dresses all day. If you're ever feeling like you don't want to put together. Look, a dress is way to go. But when it comes to work, like, get trousers, like get a pair of pants. They'll make you feel like they'll be your bossy pants. But then you can wear like thick, clunky shoes. So when this is so funny, but like one of my friends that I work in a co-working space, she's like, on a day that I need to be my most like in bossed up self, like I wear loud shoes. She's like, I want people to hear me coming. And I was like, you're so right. Like I have a collection of boots, thick heels. And I love whenever I'm walking down a hallway or I'm going to a meeting and I've got like thick boots on so you can hear me, and I've got my trousers on, like I feel super empowered. So I would definitely say blouse, wide leg trousers, and some boots.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I love all the comments we're getting, a good mix of, preferring to be overdressed compared to underdressed. One person chimed in that I love about the power of tailoring, which is, as a person, is so dead on that, you want something that fits and is comfortable. To your earlier point, if you're uncomfortable, you are so distracted.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I've been like reading all these. I love everybody's comments. I'm like, yeah, like loud shoes. Yes, I love that.
Yeah, and love too, since we're having so much interaction. If y'all also want to chime in on the chat what your power outfit is, because I love seeing what other women wear in terms of making them feel confident and really a boss babe, like you said.
Yeah.
Great. So this is a great question. What do you think someone should do if their office doesn't have a dress code?
Oh, then that just means you even have like more free range. I definitely think you always want to be like within the confines of professional, because we're talking work here. I've definitely seen in some environments where, especially when I was younger, even I worked for a branding agency. So branding is my background. And so that's why it's been fun being able to utilize like, now I'm a wardrobe stylist to bring in branding, to bring it together. However, I was the only female, so I had like any rules, and everybody was like very much like t-shirt, like shorts, grungy, and a dungeon because they were graphic designers. So I kind of had free range. And I definitely remember there were a few times where I was like a little too creative. Now looking back as a grown-up, because I recently was in an office where there was a girl wearing a romper that was like off the shoulder with like boots. And you definitely can still have like that feminine, if like you like a more sex appeal outfit, that's okay. There's ways to do it that's still in a way that will grant respect around your office, because as much as it stinks, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like how you bring yourself, it shouldn't matter. Well, so I can go ahead and caveat and say like, it is a bummer that like you might be the smartest woman in the entire company, but if you are slappy or you carry yourself in a way that's not where someone would think you would be smart, people do judge that, and that stinks. However, we just have so many available ways to us to have awesome style in a way that can cater to us being more respected. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's a bummer that that's the case. However, that is what it is. And as much as we would like to change that, we can't. So what we have the opportunity to do is just have more fun with it. Instead of it being something that stinks and we're like, I hate it. If you don't have rules, like that just means that you get to have more fun. Like I'm the kind of person that dresses for my personality that day. So I like to go in every day wearing something different and creative. That's just me. However, that means you get that too. So you get to explore style a little bit more to figure out what you like versus wearing what the people around you wear and have to dress like them. So I would definitely, even more so for you, get on Pinterest and like have some fun exploring, or like even just go, this sounds kind of funny, like I'm a people watcher, but even going to like the mall and like sitting down and just watching people walk around you to see what they're wearing, like that's a really great way to get inspiration.
Yeah, I love that. Such a good idea. So I think as a follow-up to that, if you don't have a dress code, or even if maybe you have a loose dress code, right? Mm-hmm. Is there such a thing of being too casual for work? Like, are shorts ever appropriate? How about flip-flops? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So I have an office at a female co-working space and we're like hyper femme. So I'm wearing shorts today because I can and it's really hot in Colorado right now. However, I know I'm like, it's my own office. I can do what I want. But if I was going to go meet a client today, if I was going to, I don't know, if I was going somewhere that I could potentially meet a new client, would I do that? No. So no shorts, no off the shoulder, no rompers, jumpsuits. Yeah, you can do a jumpsuit. I would still say make it not so like boho and make it a little bit more structured. But yeah, I do think like, you know, as a feminist, I know I should probably be like, no, you can wear anything, but no, like you should. So if you do, like, if you want to get that promotion, if you want your coworkers to respect you, because I definitely struggled with that. I was the only young female in an all male environment, and that was really hard for me because I felt, and I was never respected. And it's not necessarily my wardrobe that should have like been an indicator of whether or not to respect me or not, but like I did have like long blonde flowy hair and I loved like my dresses and I was like super super girly, and in that environment I should have realized I was like, because I am really smart, because I know what I'm doing, and because I'm working around a bunch of dudes, like I probably should have maybe still had fun with my wardrobe, but maybe like that's when I should have explored wearing like cool trousers and like awesome flowy button downs and like, I mean, I was young. I had no idea. And so that's why I feel like now we're in a place where we can like talk a little bit more about that. And this is a really good platform to do that. Way to go, Fairygodboss. But yes, there is such thing as like way too lax.
Totally. And I think too, and we are seeing this in the comments and you've alluded to this as well, it's knowing your office environment and knowing what you have going on that day. Because I think to your point, what you wear to a client meeting or important meetings is very different than what you would wear maybe on a regular day in the office, especially if you have a casual dress code like so many offices are tending toward these days. So I think that
I would also say, like, piggybacking off of what you just said, is that if you have a real lax, laid back wardrobe like environment, invest in really good basics, because that means like if you've got just like a whole slew of like t-shirts that are just like plain t-shirts and like jeans and like boots or heels, whatever kind of flats, make sure they're good ones. Like don't just buy like the $10 white tee in a bin. Like go to like Everlane and buy a bunch of their basics. They're in LA and they're like $30. Like it's not like crazy expensive, but if you've got really good basics, that still makes you look more put together.
Totally. I totally agree. There's nothing better than a good white t-shirt.
Oh, yes.
So this is a great segue into our next topic. So what if you want to experiment with some styles? How can you go about doing that without breaking the bank?
Oh my gosh, you're like talking to like the queen about it. So first, before I say like, before you just go buy random stuff, I would do like this groundwork, like do the Pinterest, write out your goals, write out maybe like the 5 words that you want people to like what 5 words would you want for people to grasp or understand whenever they meet you, talk to you, and look at you? And then there have been times before, for sure, like especially being a stylist, I see certain trends come in and out, and I don't participate in them just because they're a trend. Like I want to make sure they fit into my lifestyle. So sometimes, like I didn't do the whole white sneaker thing for like a couple of years because I was like, is that cool or is it like, I don't know. But I went to Poshmark, and I don't tend to buy pants on there because that's a lot. Every time I bought pants, they've never worked. But that's a good place for me. Like I got red boots because I didn't know how I was going to feel about them. And I was like, I don't know if they're really going to fit into my wardrobe. So I went to Poshmark, which is an app, a resale app. And I bought myself a pair of pointy, like high red boots. And now I love them and they're a great part of my wardrobe. And so I'm actually going to be buying another pair because I'm super excited and I love it. So I feel like going to Poshmark is a really great place to experiment with the trend. And there's like some more expensive ones. So if you do still like designer, or if you do like more expensive clothes, but you don't want to spend that retail price, there's one called Be Pop, and you can try that out. or the real. So there's some options for that. And then also I'm a huge like thrift store gal. Not necessarily where it's like Goodwill thrift store. You can find great stuff there as well. My mom is like the most trendiest like fashionista ever, but she's always taught me how to be like smart with it. And so there's a difference between buying fashion and style. And if you want to have fun with style, you can do that in a very inexpensive way. We have Buffalo Exchange here, and then we also have a thrift store called Goldmine Vintage. Have fun exploring your city and seeing what all is out there, because I have different places for different types of things that I would look for. When it comes to an event, I always go to Goldmine Vintage because they curate, like they pick very carefully these awesome vintage, like very retro pieces from like the 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. And that's where I buy my stuff for like a gala or like a really cool party, because I mean, how many of us have spent like $500, maybe not that much, but $500 on a dress, hair, makeup, shoes, and everything for a fancy event, and you probably looked exactly like everybody else there, and you're like, I will never wear this dress again. Why did I buy it? And so try to be like more creative and explore. So yeah, thrifting is super fun.
Yeah, that's great advice. I also love thrifting and vintage, and you can always find really fun stuff there, usually at an affordable price point if you want to try a new trend or style. So also you gave us a few tips, but where are some of your favorite places to shop, particularly when you're looking for business appropriate clothing?
Yeah, so I recently found a store online, like probably a year ago, and it just opened physically here in Denver. I'm super excited, but I create like shoppable board for a lot of my women virtually. And on there lately, I've been seeing more and more of Aritzia. So Aritzia is a brand that at first I thought it was a lot of more like athleisure wear, and it's gotten more heavily into like business, but it's very simple, good quality business pieces. So you can get great trousers, blouses, leotard, like whatever you need. Saw a beautiful coat there the other day that I want to get. But Aritzia is one. So I'd highly recommend that. Nordstrom is always a great go-to. Like, I'm a Nordy girl for sure. I started my career there as a stylist. Like, I left the corporate world and I wanted to be in fashion, but I didn't know how to just be a stylist. So I was very humbled, and I worked at Nordstrom, and I would tell anybody on the planet, if you ever want to be a stylist, go work there. But they've got great return policies. I'm really big about, like, if you want to order a bunch of stuff at home and then go return it, they have stylists there. So if you can't afford to hire a personal stylist, but you do want someone to help you pick things, utilize that. That's amazing. It's such an underutilized offering that they have.
That's awesome.
Yes, they have a whole department for it, but you have to like schedule ahead of time, and that's what people don't realize. So they have people that you can book with, and you don't have to pay for that service, which is awesome. So Nordstrom's great. Zara is a really good option. I personally like shopping Zara more online versus in person, because it can be kind of overwhelming, like a Forever 21 or H&M. I'm not a supporter of Forever 21 or H&M necessarily. A little bit more of H&M, just because they do have to where, like, if you bring clothes in to recycle, they'll give you a discount. I just oftentimes see people buying, like, they'll have a really good white button down and then like a really cheap white button down. And so you have to know what you're looking for when you go there. You have to like be able to like see the quality of the material, feel the structure. Surprisingly, Macy's, their in-store experience is terrible. Their online website is terrible. However, they carry amazing clothes. And so I have done so much shopping for more of my professional clients at Macy's. They have a line called INC, which is like International something like Concepts. I have a lot of that line. Like, they have fun business pieces. And so I would definitely check out the INC line at Macy's. I love it. A lot of my jewelry is actually from Macy's, because that store is always on sale. Like, everything at Macy's, it's always like red tag sale. And you're like, that's been going on for the last 5 years. And so if you need, because oftentimes you've got great pieces in your wardrobe, just go to Macy's and get like a whole basket full of just jewelry you can mix and match, and that'll make you feel like you're wearing a new outfit every day.
Yeah, Macy's is really great, and they always have, it's such a wide selection, so you can literally find anything that you're looking for, and they do always have really great sales, so you can, to your point, maybe experiment a little bit more, try something new that you wouldn't otherwise have tried.
Totally, and they've got a good plus size section too, because I feel like a lot of stores don't have that. And that's stupid because, you know, most of America is a size 14, so we need more options, but Macy's has like a really good selection.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to open it up to the audience for Q&A. So if you all want to start dropping in your questions using your Q&A functionality, we'll go through them. And while some of you do that, I want to just read through some of the comments because we've gotten some really good ones. So one person shared with us their power outfit, and it's wearing one of their vibrant purses that shows their personality and then throwing a blazer over the outfit, whether it's a dress or slacks and a blouse, which loves purses, and that's such a good idea to jazz up an outfit. And then,
I'm a big purse gal myself, and I actually was just served an ad by Amazon, and they were like, awesome purses for like the business lady, and it was like a whole bunch of really cool like crocodile and colors, and so I'm about to get a lot more vibrant purses too.
I love that. And then I really loved this comment from someone. I went from financial services to a luxury brand, donated all of my work suits, and reinvented my personal brand. Very invigorating. Love that.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Get it, girl.
Okay, so let's dive in for these questions. So do you have any thoughts, Hannah, on using clothing rental services, maybe like Rent the Runway or Grinny Bee?
Yes. So, okay, I have a few feelings towards these things. I was a wardrobe stylist for a TV show for like almost 2 years, and we used Rent the Runway. We had 4 women on the show, and there wasn't a budget for shopping, so I would have to style them with like their own clothes, and then we also did Rent the Runway for each of them. And for them, because they were on TV, it was awesome because they could always have something new and different. However, the consistency of the items was really hit or miss. Like we would get pieces coming in and the zipper would be missing or the buttons missing, or you could definitely tell like someone that rented it washed it, so then the quality was like messed up versus like letting them dry clean it. So I liked it in the sense of being able to have like unique different pieces you can change in and out. So I think if you have a career where like say you travel a lot for work, and maybe you're maybe do public speaking, maybe you do panels, maybe you go to conferences, like that's a good tool because you get a few different pieces in and then decide which one you would want to wear. I have a client who she's a CEO and she travels and speaks everywhere, and so we've utilized it a lot for like she owns a million amazing trousers, like various colors, and then we'll get like a bunch of blouses so we can change it in and out. So for her, that's awesome. I personally think if you just are working in the office, if you don't really have that public speaking or like TV appearances or anything like that, not as well of like not as big of a bang for your buck, I could say. It's way better. I would definitely tell you guys instead, like save your money, invest in really good pieces you can use on a regular basis and mix and match with everything versus like spend $175 a month on something that like you'll never get to wear again unless you pay it again. I also am kind of iffy about box services. Most people are like, oh, I loved my first 2 boxes, and then for 3 months I hated them, and then I loved another one. And so it can be kind of fun if you have like that extra income for a surprise. However, still, again, I would rather you just figure out what your personal style is and then buy pieces that you love. If you learn how to shop, it's so much fun versus like being excited for a box and then you're like, okay, I don't like anything in it.
Totally. I actually had a friend who traveled a lot for work, and she would do the Rent the Runway subscription services and like bring work dresses with her to wherever she was traveling, and then just mail them back from her hotel so she could pack really light. And then if she wanted to bring back souvenirs or whatever where she was coming from, she had that extra space in her suitcase, which I thought was really clever.
Yeah, for a certain type of person, it's great, but not for like just every day.
Totally. So we've gotten this question in a few different ways, but what are your overall recommendations in terms of dressing for your age, or maybe dealing with like ageism in the workplace?
Oh yeah, that's frustrating. So I have a mother she's 60 next year. She's so stylish, and we dress very similar, but there's things that she does that I don't, or vice versa for like age-wise. So I definitely think you can be extremely stylish whenever you're 60 years old. Like, I'm just using 60 because my mom's 60, but or even actually most of my clients, so this is where probably some of you guys are too, is that there's this new age group in like their 30s and 40s that are not where their moms and grandmas were at 30s and 40s. So we're kind of like in this limbo of like, okay, I can't dress like I'm my 20s. I don't want to dress like my mom. Like, what do I do? Like, how do I stay stylish, but I'm also like a grown-up at the same time? So for my recommendation is definitely structure. Make sure the pieces have like good quality and it's sewn well. So it hangs on you in a way that's not just like basically I'm saying no more cheap stuff. Like, one thing if you want to be frugal and do thrifting, but make sure quality of clothing is pretty much the most important part of like shopping. Age-wise, like say you're the oldest person in like a young office. I think someone said that, like, what if I'm the oldest person in the office? Like, instead of utilizing the younger people as like your measurement of what to wear, like, again, I will always say Pinterest, but find brands as well. Like, you utilize the catalogs at Nordstrom. Sounds silly and super old school, but look at ways to be able to dress yourself that you still feel empowered. Again, I always go back to trousers just because to me, like, that makes me feel like a bombshell. But if you think about it, like a blouse and like red trousers can be worn by a 20-year-old and an 80-year-old. Like, nothing about that is like young or old except for the quality of the piece. The younger girls buying cheap stuff at Forever 21. You're going to be buying like nicer quality from Aritzia, Nordstrom, or something like that. So that's really the huge differentiator is quality.
Yeah. Do you think accessories can make an impact too?
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, I used to not really be a big accessory person, and that's silly. Like, that was before I was a stylist. And then as a stylist, I realized like it's a huge, so I have a shelf. And on the top one is my go-to every day. So I have like these little gold hoops. I have a few different various like gold bar necklaces. I have my gold rings. I have a cuff. Those are my like everyday whenever I'm like putting on an outfit, but I don't have time to like sift through all my fun costume jewelry. However, like this necklace right here, is this an everyday? Nope. Like, it was sitting from a photo shoot off to the side. I was like, ooh, this like look really cool. So yeah, if I didn't have any of this jewelry on and I was just wearing a tee and a hat for this, like there's not really much style to it. It's not really a style, it's just a t-shirt and shorts and boots and a hat. So accessories is like one of the biggest things ever to like make an outfit. I always go to like gold jewelry because it's super easy to have a bunch of dainty gold jewelry and just like wear it every single day. But like that always will finish and complete the look. So yeah, invest in jewelry and shoes. Shoes are like amazing. Yeah.
Totally. So this is a great question. So if you are a consultant or someone who works with a lot of different client types and you're going into different businesses and cultures, what do you think is something that's safe and comfortable to wear in a lot of different environments?
Okay, I'm so sorry. Repeat that one more time. I read a comment and I didn't hear the first part.
So fine. So if you're a consultant or someone who works with a lot of different types of businesses and you're dealing with a lot of different types of cultures, what do you recommend that's something that's safe and comfortable to wear across a lot of different office environments?
Yeah, that's a good question. I still would say be more on the professional side than underdressed. It's better that you look like, say you have a client who's super professional and say you have a client who's like real chill. it's easier for you to take off that blazer and your personality be really laid back with them versus you having to like make yourself seem more professional with your personality to the other person. So always dress for like the higher stakes. So if you have a client who's super buttoned up but then like later you go see one chill, like dress for the higher stakes, which is the more professional client. Because you can always like go see the other one, take off your blazer, roll up your sleeves. Like there's a way to be more lax with them. And also those people like say, and let's also like talk the culture stance. Like if there's an issue, like wearing low cut things, don't wear low cut things. Like the client that doesn't have qualms with it versus the client that does, like that's the higher stake. You're hurting, you could potentially hurt that relationship. You're not going to hurt the relationship with the other client that doesn't care if you're wearing like a V-neck blouse or whatever. So always think like, what is the higher stake situation and dress for that one.
Totally. And it's like a blazer offers so much versatility. So
oh yeah,
it's such a good and smart investment.
Totally.
So time for one more question before we have to hop off, and I think it's a great one to end on. So do you think the saying, dress for the job you want, not the job you have, still applies today?
I think it's more dressed for where you want your job to go versus like the job you want. So because like the reality is like you could want technically a job in a completely different industry that you're trying to get to. So I don't know how relatable that is, but I would say just for where you want your job to be. So if you're wanting a promotion, just for someone who should be getting that promotion, like it will never hurt you to be more professional. Like it will never hurt you. So say you are in like a really buttoned up environment and you wish you were working somewhere that was more chill. Like, no, I do not recommend, don't dress for that environment. So I would say dress for you where you want your career to go versus dress for like the job you want. So yeah, a little different. Change it up a little bit. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us today, Hannah. Yeah. Great advice and tips. As I mentioned earlier, in case anyone was late logging on, we will be sending out a recording with this and how you can stay in touch with both Fairygodboss and Hannah. So thank you all again. It was great. And thanks for joining us.
Been so fun. Thank you, everybody. And if you I see there's a bunch of questions, so obviously y'all can message me on Fairygodboss, or you can also DM me on Instagram as well. That's a way I connect with people. So Style by Hannah Moon, and then you can email me as well. So thank you so much for having me.
Great. Thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Bye. Bye.